Hi, this is my first time doing Subarugears rear reverse diff. My job is to do Subaru conversion. So it's already apart. This won't be used. The front differential won't be used. This won't be used. Basically, you're left with the two sides of the transmission. That's one side. That's the that's my shot Vanagon conversion. That's the complete Subarugears Black Friday special. We should have about everything we need, and already begun the mess of removing all the metal so the diff gear has some room to go, because it will be reversed, of course. It's pretty messy. It needs to be cleaned now, of course. So that's not enough anywhere. Basically, this one here is kind of stuck and it's perfect. So we need to cut it out like that all around. All right. Well, that took me longer than expected because you need to remove a lot of metal. I mean, the wall here needs to be flat, and even here where that the window for the oil will be, it needs to be grinded. I mean, so really I was just not prepared for removing that much, but that's the only way that the diff will go in. Whoops. And really spin freely. So this will be a breather by so it's just a small hole you can see here. Very easy to do, nothing special. You can also pop out that piece here. That would become your oil level window. The next step is to put the nut safety here around there so you can get this thing out. So it all came loose. And now it's a 27 millimeter nut. So blah blah blah. I don't know what I'm doing right now, just like removing part because I see him doing that. That will come all in order right now. That's, I guess we're about done as to removing those little part here. So I just removed this one. It's press fit, so basically you just pop it out of there. Okay, so I'll remove the bearing one side, put it back on the new part. Voila. Okay, that's about it. We don't reuse any of those for now. We want to put the main assembly now on the shaft here. So I did a mistake here. First of all, don't push the new pinion too far. Sorry, the bearing should be here, because it's really tight fit, so you won't be able to turn and to align this one. Also, I forgot to remove that. Another washer, another bearing inside that thing here, and I'm pretty sure this one will replace everything. But the main thing now is to align the those spline with the pinion here, basically. So you're pushing it. You need to align those into this one. Okay, so that's a little tricky part. So basically, you push here, and you push your pinion in, and you try to, you know, that's what I understand so far. Okay, so before I told you the aluminum bushing is in now. You see, it's pretty easy. But before I did align those two, so they will of course. Don't go now, just to piss me off. But I have one end right now. I can't do not that much. But they were aligned, so I'll put it in. Sorry. So I have one washer. The knot that I'm torqued, I don't have the number. But look here, I can't bind the nut. I cannot put the little tab and the little notch here, so I will need that washer here. I don't see otherwise. So you see now I have two washer, so I used the big one and the smaller one, and now I can easily bend the nut where it should be bent in the four corner here. Okay, back to the case. Here you need to put two screws, and you can't go wrong. There's one side that won't go, and that's it, that's all. And you need to remove the shim. Okay, that's the first step here, and kind of bang it here. You see, I didn't know why I didn't put the retainer, but this is not perfectly aligned because the pin is on the other side, but that doesn't really matter for now. So that's the pinion, that tool. I'm quite impressed by that plastic part. It will fit into two holes, and that's kind of obvious. Just make sure, I guess, the holes are clean. If the transmission, this is a pretty new transmission. This will also just go on one side, not sure, and it won't, you know, so it just goes base. It doesn't fit anywhere. Oops, fits there. So I'm there. So back to what am I supposed to understand here is that normally there should be some shim here, and this is to zero out the distance. Okay, right now I'm at, you know, I'm here, whatever, 0.45 or 0.045. And of course what you can do is turn it to see if it's going to stay like that. Yeah, about the same. Okay, and the thickness of those here is exactly the same of what I'm missing. So let me just, sorry, I cannot do it with one hand, but this is hard. But sorry. You see, whatever, I have 0.45, so that should do it, I guess. I'm going to install them back and just see if I'm at zero. So what this suggested is that you swapped the left and right bearing cup, basically. So, oops. Again, I'm only have one end. Anyway, so we got to remove that little part that blocks the adjuster from spinning, of course. Put that away for now, and you're gonna use their tool, of course, and get that thing out by banging it and just swapping with this one. I will show you that later. So this is a crucial part. You can put that back. Okay, this is kind of in the way. You can remove it, but now you need to find the slot or the alignment, and this is so oily, right? So this thing will block. Okay, it's not blocked. I can turn it now. But it's so oily that I can't. But you just find the hole and you push it in. I need my two hand again. Okay, so I've been fighting with that thing for half an hour, mostly because of those two shim. It was all installed and stuff, but I mean, I forgot, not that I forgot, but I was ready to install a shim at last, and no, doesn't go. When you have the other shaft here with the gear, you cannot play here. It's impossible. So get that big one first with the shim, like at the opening here, like that, and put the other one last. So I've put the transmission back. This is pretty easy anyway. Todd has a great explanation on his website.
and YouTube channel. So anyway, we're checking the backlash now. The backlash is, I will put a picture later, is gear on gear play. Too tight, you're gonna burn and you're gonna destroy everything in a short while. Too loose is better, but not too loose, okay? This is the backlash. Can you hear that tuck, 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 tuck? That's the pinion and main gear playing on each other, and that's what we're trying to figure out right now by playing with the disc. So anything you go out on this side was the big reverse main gear. If you go out, it's gonna put some more loose, some more backlash anyway. But you got to do the same on the other side all the time. This is basically it. To check that, we can have a gauge, and we kind of, and you need to do so. You need no noise. I mean, it's kind of really hard to do it. But basically, you go far away, come back to zero. Again, I've passed zero, and you need to be able, you see, to hear those two knock. It's really hard, but, and I'm maybe a little bit tight here now, but I know it's about 15 to 18. You can hear it. So I know I can feel it in my hand. It's about there. So 15, about, you know, don't go crazy with that. I mean, but this is the most difficult part, I would say, and one of the most important part of doing that conversion Subaru thing. Now that I'm happy with my backlash and I remove all mark that I did before, and I'm doing a major one like that here, okay, because I have to put back those O-ring. So same on the other side. You see here that bearing, there's a little pin to align, and at first I did a mistake. It was not perfectly aligned, and that when I closed the two case, it was not turning properly. So you need to be really careful with this little pin. This one is easy here, just saying. So the transmission is back open, so I'll do the grease test to see where it's touching. Okay. Okay, so my mesh pattern was not right. Basically, I had two shim here, and I was at about 0.4 even, you know. So I removed one and found out that they were about 0.30 each, so 0.60, and I was almost, so basically I removed one, they're about the same, and I'm at zero now, and even, you know, not, you know, easily zero. So I had to remove one shim. So since I made a mistake the first time, we need to redo the whole backlash thing. So first thing, I'm gonna put this one out a bit to be sure it's not too tight. I have no choice. Not too far, just a few notch. So you see already, this is the old grease, so I want to you know, just put some more to test it again, but the pattern looked way better than before. Same here. I mean, it's kind of hard to see here, but you know, looks way better. So I'm gonna still do it again. So I don't know why the old grease didn't do a good job, so I've cleaned it and put some new grease. And it's kind of hard to say, but for me it looks really in the center, like especially here. It's really hard. The main gear is harder. You see here it's interesting because I left some unpainted and I can see clearly a mark of the other tooth. Of course it's in the center, that's for sure. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see a pattern. Same on the other side. Kind of hard, but you see here. So let's see what Todd has to say. Okay, the cone was not fitting properly. Okay, you see I had a gap. It will not close about that far. Okay, I didn't get it. So that shaft here, okay, yes, there's a stopper here, but that bearing can move. So basically you see that C-ring was too far out. Basically the whole thing was slightly out, about almost 1/8. And I'll show you with a little tap here. You can see it's out just enough so it won't close. So you got to tap this thing until the C-ring touch the case. Otherwise you won't be able to close. I'm surprised there's no adjustment this way. Basically it's just the pressure from the case. I don't see otherwise. So you got to tap this one a bit so the C-ring here, that C-ring, touch the case. As stupid as it sounds, it's just a small mistake like that. I could not put when you put the shoe thing here, it was too off and it was touching inside here. So it's a very small detail, and I was wondering what that C-ring was for because it was out. So you got to tap your shaft as much until the C-ring touch. Very important. So I got to close that back again. Hi. First of all, a few little stuff. I cut the wire. I'm not even sure which one is the backing switch, but I cut the wire. That's stupid. I don't have the right line. I'm gonna have one welded, I guess. I don't have the sear clip. They forgot, and that's not good. It will hit the shaft. So you need to buy 2 of those for sure. Also, this needs to be at the end. So the hole to use is this one and not this one, because it's gonna go higher like that. A few little stuff.